Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode on this series about how to record video games, YouTubing, and now we're going to get into joining a network, an MCM, and what you might need to know about it, what networks you might want to join, things to be aware of about them. It's kind of crazy. One of the main reasons for joining a network is that the protection behind it. And the protection that I've seen, because I was one of these people when I first started doing YouTube, I was dead set against using a network. I did not want to share what little money I was making when I didn't really see them doing anything for me in the end. And one of the things that I noticed was towards the first year and a half that I was doing it, I started running into some issues. Some of them were like the invalid click activity. Invalid click activity is a way for people to scam the system, or at least it used to be until YouTube got wise about how to do it. And it's something that you guys might need to worry about. When people are trying to scam the system, YouTube, comes down hard on YouTubers. They look at you as guilty and to proven innocent. And if you're trying to prove that you were innocent, you're gonna need to know what you're talking about. And YouTube is not for the unexperienced basically. So they expect you to know exactly how to talk to them, what they need in the letter. You get one try and that's it. And so when you have a channel to do it for you, a network to kind of cover your back, when you run into issues like that, they handle all the legal the course and sending the letters in, and they catch all this without you even knowing about it. And when you have to do it, most of the time you don't run into any of this stuff, but occasionally you will. And so we'll get into that on those subjects. But for now, we're going to go over just two of the networks that I would suggest joining. Now, Freedom is a good and a bad network. It is good in the sense that anybody can join. They do actually do what they say they're going to do for you. And there's a lot of cool things about them. And we'll get into the cons here at the end. But for the beginning of it, the pros is simply this. When you join a network, some of the older ones like Fullscreen or Machinima and things of that sort will still require you to be in a contract that makes you lock yourself in for a certain amount of time. More of these networks are taking that out of their contract. So when this video goes up, Fullscreen and Machinima, they may not be doing that anymore. But at the moment, I believe they both still are, where you have to be part of them for like 60 or 6 months or a year or even 2 years. You're locked into that contract, and if you don't like the way they're doing things, or if they're not doing things they're supposed to be doing, there's not a lot of recourse you have. You're just kind of stuck in that contract. With Freedom, as well as Union for Gamers or Curse, they have the contract where you have month to month. So at any time you do not like what they're doing, you give them 30-day notice and you're out. Like that's all you have to do. So if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or you find somebody better, you can leave at any time, which to me makes sense. Is how I like to do it, and that's one of the reasons I would say with Freedom. The second reason behind that is if you just started, if you're a brand new YouTuber and you don't have a lot of subscribers, views, you're just kind of getting into it, you want that extra ability to do more than 10-minute episodes, you can come on here and you can allow yourself to join a network because Freedom takes everybody. Everybody who applies instantly gets approved to be inside Freedom. That, and of course, is a negative in other aspects, which we'll get into here in a few minutes. But another cool thing that Freedom does is that it allows you to get a lot more help from other YouTubers. Is really really good about that. It's also really good about coming up with these really kind of funny videos of this guy right here who will come up with ways to help you out. Like there are helpful videos about how to upload a video, YouTube, these things you need to know about, tags, pretty much everything I'm covering, this guy covers, and he does, like every week they come up with more and more and more, and it's just really, really in-depth and highly useful videos. Of course, you do not have to be part of the network to watch these videos. You can watch these videos no matter what network you're with, or if you're even part of a network. So, not really a bonus for being part of the network. It's just it's there. But yeah, it's that guy who does it, and the network also gives you the ability to get what do you call them? Like advertisers to your site, but in different ways. They have one on there that I was watching not too long ago, where if you want, if you have a certain amount of subscribers and you're part of the network, of course, you can get the sponsor, and he'll give you a keyboard, a mouse, and a headset in the hopes. And actually, the only qualification is that you have to do a like a 5 minute or longer video on the products. You don't have to say anything good about them. You just have to do a review of the products. If you like them, you say something good about them. If you don't like them, you don't say something good about them. But you have to do a video about it. That's one of the catches. But they give a lot of stuff like that. They have a lot of opportunity for you to get kind of free stuff without having to go contact them. They'll contact the guys and set the whole thing up, and you just have to apply through the channel. And Freedom is one of the really good things about that. Some of the negative things about Freedom is because anybody can join their network. There's not a huge, like waiting list. Like anybody who applies is going to get joined in there. They have a lot of people in their channel, and so when something bad goes, something that you're supposed to get paid, which is one of the main complaints that I hear about people on Freedom, is that when you're supposed to get paid, if they miss your payment for whatever reason, they're not keeping your money. I've never heard anything like that. But if they miss your payment, you have to contact them. Well, they're so busy with all the other requests that it may be months before they finally get to yours. And when they finally do get to it, again, they're so busy it may be months before they finally rectify the situation. And if they got to talk to you again and go back and forth, it could be, months upon months before you finally get paid for your October one in the next year, December or something like that. So for that reason alone, a lot of people dislike it because they're not getting paid on time, and then they have to go through this huge headache of getting it rectified because they're just so big. They don't have the people to take care of that many people, at least from what I've seen. This is all from what I've seen, guys. This is not from, like third hand or second hand or whatever accounts for the most part, because I was part of this network for a little while. It didn't work out, so I left this one and I went with Union for Gamers, which is cursed. So Freedom, it's a great one. I would recommend it for anybody just starting out on YouTube. But they do have their cons to it as well. And one of the things that you got to remember on this one is they're not going to advertise your site nearly as much unless your site is already doing pretty well, because they got so many people on there. You do get other benefits. They have the fact that you can get free music from them and stuff like that, and they have no minimum payout, which is the same thing for any other network. Whereas if you're doing it through AdSense, you have to get $100 before they give you your first check. Every $100 you get another check. So if you make $2 in a month, you have to wait until that adds up to $100. If you make $300 in a month, you just get the $300 because it's over $100. And then they pay out every month as well. So every month it has to be above $100 or you don't get anything. On a channel, on a network, they pay you out. If you make 6 cents, you get 6 cents. They're going to pay you what you have. I believe most of them work through PayPal or what's the other one? PayPal or crap. I can't think of the other one, but yeah, it's PayPal and something else. But it's pretty easy. Some of them will even send you checks or deposit it straight into your bank account if you really want to go that route, which is, from what I hear, perfectly safe with Freedom. They've never heard anything really, really negative about them. There's a whole bunch of negative things to say about them in the fact that they can't do what they say they're going to do because there's so many people. But if you understand that going in, everything else they say has been right on target. Union for Gamers, or Curse, is something a lot of you guys might know. They've been around for a while. They do quite a few things as far as like Minecraft goes, and there's a lot of maps and editors and tools that they come up with. They're a really good site that was around long before they became a channel for gamers as far as YouTube goes. But if you want to join Union for Gamers, keep in mind, guys, that there are certain qualifications. I believe it's something like you have to have at least what was it? It's like 1,000 subscribers or at least 30,000 views a month or something like that before you can get in the door. And thankfully, just recently here, I was able to get past those qualifications and get into the channel. They have been absolutely fantastic since I joined. They don't do anything fancy. What they do, which I forgot to mention on Freedom because I'm not aware, because I wasn't there long enough, if they were doing this for me or not, but Union for Gamers definitely does. When you have a video on YouTube, you have a CPM, which is just, or your RPM, which is a rate per 1,000. So for every 1,000 views that were monetized, for people who actually saw the commercials, watched the commercial, for those type of people, you have a certain amount of money that you will get, and that fluctuates based off of what the commercials are willing to pay. So you may have it where they're willing to pay 25 cents per thousand, and it has gone that low before. Or you may have it where they're willing to pay $1.50 per thousand. These networks will go and find you commercials that are willing to pay you more. So on average, I get anywhere from 350 all the way up to $7 per thousand monetized views from Curse versus what I was getting before, which was about 25 cents to $1.25. So they have tripled, if not more, the profits that I would have gotten from the same commercials because they're going out and finding better ones for me. And I get more commercials put on my channel because of them. And Freedom supposedly does the same thing. I've never seen that. I wasn't there long enough for that to happen. But they supposedly do the exact same thing. Freedom is a pretty good one. Union for Gamers is what I would suggest if you have the qualifications to join. Fantastic network. Paid me not just on time, but usually pay me early. They do have it where the first month is held in reserve, and then uh, after the second month is over, you get paid the first month, and then the third month is over, you get paid the second one. So it's kind of like paying what do you call that when you buy an apartment or get out of an apartment? You put the down payment down, the deposit, so that if anything's wrong, they get to keep it. Now they won't do that. They don't get to keep the money at all. It's just for whatever reason they wait 1 month before they pay you the next one, and then at the end, if you ever decide to leave, which again is month to month, you get paid all of it. Like they're going to give you that first month back, and the second month, and the last month you get back as well. I think it's just so that you get put into like the rotation, and however they do their thing, that seems to be the best way for them to go about it. So revenue share, that's another thing you need to take into account. Freedom starts, I believe, at 60%, and the more your analytics are growing, the more money you'll make from that. You'll be able to go up. You can even get to like 110%. So you're making like 10% more money than your channel is actually earning. So you're making money from other people, basically, as long as your analytics are constantly going up and your channel is growing. And the longer you're in there and the higher on the ranking list you go, you get paid more revenue. It starts at 60%, and most of them they say go to about 80%. Union for Gamers start at 90%, and it stays at 90%. 90% for me is perfectly fine. For the stuff that I know my channel is doing for me and the stuff that I don't know that they're doing for me, I am more than happy to give them 10% of what I'm doing for that protection and for that security and all the advertisements. And just the fact that they're raising my RPMs up so much means I'm making more money, they're making more money, we're both happy. What more can you ask from a network? Like that's exactly what you need right there. An uncapped contract again means no matter how much you make each month, you'll always be able to collect 90% of your earnings, and you will be a no lock-in. You are free to leave at any time. Give them 30 days, and boom, you're gone. Uh, it's pretty self-explanatory. And most of the time, from what I've heard, if you want to leave, it's not even 30 days. It's like if you're doing it on like the 15th of the month, it's just to the end of the month. Sometimes they do it for you. Like they're not going to try to keep you in if you don't want to be there. Like it's almost I don't think they see themselves as high and mighty or anything like that. Like it's a privilege to join them, but they do realize that they are doing a service for their users, and if the user doesn't want to be there, then there's other people out there who are more than fine with the way they're working right now because they are such a good network. Like there's a lot of people who want to join them, and unfortunately, just not everybody's able to do so. Referrals, again, you can refer people to join the network as well. And the cool thing about this one is if you refer somebody to join, the person who refers you gets a portion. I guess I shouldn't say a portion. What it ends up being is 10% of the money that you make. Say Channel A invites Channel B to join, and they use the referral thing. And Channel B makes $100, right? And 10% of that is taken out for the channel for Curse. So $10 of that $100 is taken out. That Channel B made $90. Well, Channel B made $100 actually, but 10% was taken out. 10% of that $100 is what the Channel A will make. So Channel B will make $90 because that's their portion of the $100 with the Curse portion taken out, and Channel A will make an additional $10 because they referred that person. And I believe Channel B gets something as well. I think they get some kind of bonus or something for joining underneath them. But the person who put them on there makes a little bit of cash above and beyond what the other one was making. So nothing is taken away from Channel B. They're just basically giving more to Channel A as a thank you for bringing this other person in, and as a thank you from the person on Channel B for getting in. They're basically making money for the other person without sacrificing any on their side. So it's kind of a cool thing, you know. Not a lot of places do that, and I think you only make it for like the first 6 months or something like that. So it's not forever, but it's kind of a nice little thing right there that you can do. If you have multiple friends who want to join and things of that sort, you can do that. If any of you guys are looking to join and are having a hard time getting in or something like that, let me know. You don't have to do the referral thing. That's not what I'm after. But I'm more than happy to get you guys in here if you guys want to join. Now, you can also do up here on the top creators and things of that sort. But one of the main things when you're trying to find a network to join, whether it's gaming related or music related or whatever it may be, is to do a ton of research. And when you finally think that you have all the facts in hand, wait a month and then do a ton more research. And the reason I would say wait a month is so that you can think about it, so that you can figure out what you want out of your channel. Now, you need to join one right off the bat if you're going to go hardcore into it and you don't have the permissions to do anything. You can join something like Freedom and change later down the road. But I would highly suggest giving yourself time to think about it, figure out where you want your channel to go, and mainly, more than anything else, guys, research, 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 research. Listen to what people who have joined the channel have to say, read their comments, listen to the YouTube videos, find out firsthand from those people as much as you can, anyway, secondhand, I guess, from those people, what the good things and bad things are about that. Because everybody has different experiences. You're going to have those people who are very lucky who join Freedom and have never had any issues with being paid on time. It's going to happen. And then you're going to have people who join and they may be the 80 percentile. The 80% of the people who join have problems. Well, you need to find that out. Of course, you could be one of the 20% that never have issues, or you could be part of the 80%, which is more likely that does. You know, you could join Union for Gamers and be part of the percentage like me who has never had any issues, or be part of the people who have. There's negative things about every network that I've ever researched, including this one. There's people out there who have said negative things about this. My personal experience, I've never seen any of them. Like, I've never seen any of the negative things they've ever said about this network, and I am not getting paid to do that. I'm not getting paid to say that. This is just my personal experience on these networks. Now, make sure you're very much aware of networks. And again, I'm pointing to Full Screen and Machinima and stuff like that. These sites don't necessarily do that. These guys have been around for a long, long time. They're great sites to join. They do a lot more for you than some of these other people do. They will raise your RPMs. They get you advertisement commercials. They will do a lot for you. So I'm not putting these sites down at all. The only reason I even mention these sites is because some of them will have it where it says you have, you can leave at any time after 30 days. But down in the small print, it says you can do that the first 6 months. And then after 6 months, you're locked into a year contract or a 2-year contract or something like that. So read the fine print. Do not get locked into a contract. I would say it's almost absolutely never worth it to get locked into a year contract. Almost all of the good ones are switching over to month. And if you're going to join one of the other ones, if you have to join them, then I would say, you got to be aware of how long you're going to be stuck in there, and be very aware of what the good things and negative things of joining that network could be, and be willing to accept the negative ones if they all happen to have, happen to you. Because you could just get incredibly lucky and have all those negative things happen. And if you decide that having all those negative things happen still outweigh the positives, then join them. But just be aware that they're there. Again, joining a network does a lot of things for you guys. They protect you in the background more than you will ever know with claims against your channel. If somebody's doing one of those invalid click activities, depending on the channel you join, they may or may not be protecting you. Freedom has it where when you join, you're like the bare bones basic model of a protection, and they don't really protect you that much with that kind of thing. What they will do as you join, as you go higher and higher in the rank, is protect you more and more and more. Union for Gamers is like right off the bat, they're protecting you as much as possible, which is just fantastic that they're willing to do that. And for things that you might lose your AdSense account, again, if you lose your AdSense account for any reason, you can't get another one. You can't link another one. You can create another one, but if they find out, it voids the whole thing, and they will find out because they're really good about doing that. And you just won't be able to make any money off of the commercials on your site. Whereas if you join a network, if anything happens and your AdSense account is thrown into question, it's not your AdSense account, it's their AdSense account, and they're very, 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 you know, they're protecting. They have a high interest in protecting their own AdSense account because they're making a lot of money off of the YouTubers that are part of their channel, and they don't want to lose that. So they're watching that stuff 24/7. They got good people sitting there that know what they're doing. They have a company that they hire out that sit there and watch it, as well as watching probably hundreds of other networks and stuff like that, 24 hours a day, 24 access, kind of thing. And you don't have to do that because you try to buy that yourself. It's going to cost you a fair bit of money, probably a lot of money. They see it as an expense in the grand scheme of how much money they're making. If you have 10,000 people that you're doing it for and you're making $5 off of each one, and it only costs you $200 to do it, that's well within the margin of you're going to make a lot of money. But if you're doing $200 for yourself and you're only making $100 a month, then you're costing yourself an extra $100 and you're not really getting anything too much out of it. So it's worth it for them because they're doing it on such a massive scale. For you, not so much. So networks, they do have really, really good things that they're doing on that one. Again, if you don't quite meet the qualifications on this channel, on this network for Union for Gamers, Curse, they do have it just like some of the other sites. Freedom doesn't have it because they accept everybody. But even Full Screen and Machinima will have it where you can actually apply. You can go on there and apply to join the channel, and they will let you know. Like if you're close, or if they see your channel's been on the rise for the last 6 months and you're maybe 6 months away from being able to join their channel, they will be like, we see your channel's on the rise. We're willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. As long as it continues to rise, you can be part of our network early or something like that, until you meet the qualifications, because they can see the diamonds in the rough. They can see if you're serious about doing what you're doing. And most of these people who run these channels will be like, okay, that's going to be cool. We should do that. But those are just a few little details about MCN, guys. If I missed anything that you really want to know, I only talked about 3 main ones here. Actually, I mentioned a 4th one there for a little while, Machinima. But there are tons and tons out there that you're more than willing to join, or more than likely to join, because these are just 4, and like it's like 4 drops in an ocean. Like there's that many of them out there. So you really got to look around and find the ones that you like and the ones that you should be finding. But again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will definitely catch you all on the next